Right now, utility companies looking to increase rates across the board. How much your company could be charging you this winter.
Also, while having the NFL draft in Green Bay is great, it's also expensive. How much a couple of state lawmakers are pushing the state to spend to help foot the bill.
And later, ever wonder what's at the bottom of Lake Mendota? Meet a group of scuba divers exploring the depths and some of the interesting items they found. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Well, these days you were probably not thinking about your furnace.
But by the time you turn it on in the wintertime, you could be paying a whole lot more than you're expecting to keep your place warm. News 3's Braden Ross explains. Braden?
Wisconsin energy companies are hoping to charge more next year, some looking to raise rates by as much as 14%. They say there's a good reason, but consumer advocates aren't convinced the drastic hikes are totally necessary.
A 14% increase is a lot for anybody to swallow.
Come next winter, Wisconsinites could be paying a lot more to heat their homes.
We're concerned about the size of these increases because they're just a lot for people to handle.
Madison Gas and Electric looking to raise their rates by 7% next year. Alliant Energy hoping to charge 14% more. The price increases need to be approved by the Public Service Commission, weighing both consumer and stakeholder interests.
They're based on what the utility actually spent and will spend to operate the utility during the rate case year.
They'll spend the summer hearing from all sides, including the public, before approving the final rates. The latest increases are mainly thanks to higher natural gas and coal costs and investments in renewable energy infrastructure.
It's kind of a bumpy road on this clean energy transition.
But consumer advocates like Tom Content say it's time for energy companies to find other ways to save, namely cutting down on profits.
Customers around the country are overpaying by billions of dollars every year just linked to these profits that are out of whack and too high.
He says it's up to the Public Service Commission to rein in profits and keep prices reasonable.
And the PSC has to balance those interests between the shareholders and the customers, and we think the shareholders have done very, very well. And now we need to turn back and make sure that the customers are doing well too.
Alliant Energy explained the hikes in a statement to News 3 Now, saying in part, quote, "Nobody wants to see their bills go up, including us. However, there are more costs down the road if we do nothing or simply continue business as usual." To hear more from energy companies, head online to channel3000.com.
Braden, thank you. To a traffic alert now. Madison officials want drivers to plan ahead as a portion of one of the city's busiest intersections will be closed next week. Half of the intersection of Regent at Park Street will be closed starting next Tuesday, the 30th, while crews work to install a sanitary sewer there. The closures in the area will include no northbound traffic on Park Street across Regent Street and no southbound left turns from Park Street onto Regent Street. Important forecast now as we get into the unofficial start of summer. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with your first warn forecast out on the patio. Beautiful today, Gary.
Yeah, and it's going to stay that way pretty much through the first half of next week, which includes the Memorial Day weekend. Take a look at visible cloud track. You can see how Wisconsin not only is in the clear, but the clouds have been moving away from the state. So we've got high pressure that's basically just sitting on top of the northern part of the Midwest and just pushing the clouds away. That's a good sign. Doppler track, the nearest rain is across parts of far western Iowa and eastern Nebraska, and that's moving away as well. So we're going to stay dry for a while. High temperatures today, cool close to Lake Michigan thanks to an easterly wind there. Milwaukee only at 55, 59 in Sheboygan, but to the west, you can see temperatures are generally in the lower to middle 70s, 74 in Janesville for the high. Madison topped out at 67. Temperatures right now are mainly in the 60s across Dane County. Look for temperatures to slowly fall into the lower 50s by late evening. Once the sun goes down, those temperatures will start to drop off a little bit more rapidly. And it'll be a chilly night tonight, but temperatures start warming up again for tomorrow. I'll tell you how mild it'll get for the weekend in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. We are learning that a woman hospitalized after a house fire in Reedsburg earlier this week has died. That's according to the Sauk County coroner. Paige Ruddy died yesterday from injuries she suffered in that fire. It happened early Tuesday morning at a home in the 200 block of West 2nd Street. Firefighters rescued Ruddy from the second floor, and first responders took her to a nearby medical facility. Officials have not yet said what may have caused that fire. 3 other people were able to escape.
To continuing coverage on yesterday's massive fire at a recycling center in Portage, fire officials say the fire has been mostly contained, but crews will continue to work at the scene. Firefighters worked through the night to control the blaze before being sent home at 4 in the morning. One crew stayed at the scene to monitor hotspots until operations could begin again today.
Well, they're going to have smoldering hotspots. We're never probably going to get it all out. There's places we can't reach, so we will we'll get out most of it, and then we'll probably have to come back again and check on it.
The origin and cause of the fire is still under investigation, but Hasse says the fire quickly spread after a bale of cardboard caught on fire. This is the second fire at the recycling center in the past 10 days. Hasse believes the two fires are totally different situations.
Meanwhile, the Madison Fire Department says a stovetop burner that was left on is what led to a building being evacuated last night. Firefighters were called to an apartment building on North Butler Street. A resident in the building told firefighters as they arrived that they smelled natural gas coming from one of the units. Firefighters found a stovetop burner with no pilot light had been left on in the unit's kitchen. The fire department says no one was home at the time.
A Madison man says someone shot out one of his car windows during a road rage incident on Stoughton Road earlier yesterday morning. Madison police say the incident happened at around 6 o'clock on Stoughton Road near Flom Road. The man told police he brake checked a driver in a silver sedan that had been tailgating him. Well, that led to the other driver aggressively pulling around him and ultimately pulling out a gun, firing a single shot. The man who reported the incident said he was hurt by flying glass. The driver of the other car drove off after firing that gun and has not been found.
It has been 20 years now since the Amber Alert program came to Wisconsin, and since then, it's been used just 57 times, with those alert activations playing a role in a child's recovery in more than half of those uses. Amber Alerts have strict criteria. For example, a child has to be 17 or under and in danger of death or serious bodily harm. There also needs to be enough descriptive information for the child, the suspect, and also the suspect's vehicle.
Our state has a very robust dissemination process due to the strong and committed partnerships, all of which are dedicated to the success of the program and utilizing as many tools as possible when a child's life is in danger.
The program began nationwide in response to the kidnapping and murder of a 9-year-old girl in Texas back in 1996. The program is in her honor and shares her name.
Close to 250,000 people. That is how many Green Bay could expect to see travel to the state when it hosts the NFL draft in 2 years.
No, so what's the cost going to be for all those people? Political reporter Will Keneally is live now with more details. Will?
So you're looking at about $7.5 million for the team to host the draft. And Green Bay area Representative David Steffen wants the state to help out. According to his office, the team is putting in more than $1 million and raising more than $4 million from partners. Now he's hoping that the state can bridge the gap with $2 million.
We're going to be hosting the largest event in state history, and quite possibly it could be the largest event that we ever host. And so I want us to put our best foot forward, be a great showcase and promotion for the future for our state.
He's introducing this as part of the state tourism budget that will be voted on in committee next week. Now, we haven't heard much from the committee's leaders, except that conversations are ongoing about the proposal. Now, this is also as the state is trying to work out stadium funding for the Brewers. Steffen is a little bit more optimistic about this Packers funding, saying that it's a better return on investment. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. We're 100 days away now until the Badgers open the 2023 football season at home against Buffalo on September 2nd. And to celebrate, Wisconsin is hosting a statewide scavenger hunt. Partnering with communities across the state, UW staff will place 100 mini Badger football helmets in 4 regions across the state. Each helmet will have a prize associated with it, including tickets to a UW home game, Badger gear, and gift cards. Limit 1 prize per fan.
Now I have my own merch that no one else has. It'll be super cool to show this off, and I can post it on social media, and everyone will be jealous, and everybody will be ready for the season.
Last year's inaugural 100 Days to Kick Off scavenger hunt was a huge success. Nearly 500 people claimed prizes. More ahead on News 3 Now at 6. Kohl's planning on making some changes to the inside of its department stores.
Plus, baby on board as a Wisconsin 911 operator helps a woman deliver a baby over the phone.
Watching News 3 Now at 6.
Changes are coming to Kohl's. That will make the layout of the stores look a little different. The first change, Kohl's will be relocating home decor and gifts to the front of the store. The store's revised merchandising strategy will include a greater focus on home goods. There will also be expanded inventory in wall art, patio furniture, outdoor gear, and more space for pet products. Kohl's will condense its checkout lanes to just one area.
Big news for the COVID-19 medication Paxlovid. The FDA is granting full approval now. The antiviral treats mild to moderate COVID in cases of adults at risk for severe infections. The drug was already on the market under an emergency use authorization, but with full approval now, doctors will have a little more leeway in how to use it. For example, they could prescribe a longer course if a person shows signs of a rebound infection. Paxlovid is the first pill to be approved to treat COVID-19.
A 911 operator in Kenosha recently got the call of a lifetime, helping a mother as she gave birth. Kristen McCoy has worked as a 911 telecommunicator for 13 years. She's fielded calls over the years of women experiencing contractions, but never an actual birth. So as the ambulance was on the way, Kristen guided the woman and her partner through the delivery.
Hearing the baby cry is what really, having 2 kids myself, that just hearing that, knowing that the baby was okay, was the best part.
She says in a business where you don't often get to know what happens to people on the other end of the line, it felt good to see this one all the way through. The mother and new baby are reportedly doing just fine.
When we come back, a popular ice cream treat at Dairy Queen is melting away.
Plus, a group of scuba divers are making some unique finds at the bottom of Lake Mendota.
And temperatures will be heating back up as we head for the holiday weekend. Gary has your complete forecast when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Divers on a cleanup mission in Lake Mendota make all kinds of strange discoveries, from furniture to toilet tanks. There's a lot of trash down there, but there are also some treasures.
Our Catherine Merck gives us the first chapter of a surprising story that you will see completed at 10 about one unusual find this weekend.
If you drop something in Lake Mendota, you might think it could be gone for good. But for the Four Lakes Scuba Club, they say just because it's out of sight doesn't mean it should be out of mind.
I just try to imagine what were people doing that this ended up in the water, and usually I can't come up with a good explanation on how this got here.
Ellen Evans is the president of the club. She tells us on their cleanup dives, they find all kinds of items you'd never think would end up at the bottom of the lake. Divers have found furniture, bikes, a stove, bowling balls, just to start the bizarre list.
I found a cash register drawer that was empty, so I'm wondering how that ended up there.
While out this weekend, the team found an iPhone, and what they saw next, some might call unexpected.
She charged it up and it came on. She turned it into the UW Police Department. Maybe they could find the owner, or someone contacted them, and then she posted it on Reddit.
Police told us they were looking for the owner and hadn't come up with anyone yet. But we have a surprise twist to the story and a few more details we just found out. Coming up tonight at 10 on News 3 Now. Reporting in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Dairy Queen says it is discontinuing the longtime fan favorite cherry dipped cone. This after rumors swirled online. Now, this isn't the first time the cherry dipped cone has been dropped from the menu. It's actually been on and off over the past few years. Last year, fans were thrilled to hear the cherry dip was coming back for a limited time after an undisclosed hiatus. So hopefully for them, the cherry dip will soon return. And with how temperatures are looking for the next week or so, better have some ice cream in the freezer, Gary.
Are you suggesting that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice warm weekend. It'll be dry and temperatures will be more summer-like by the middle part of next week. 3 things you need to know. We start off with cool weather. Tonight, temperatures will be down around 40 degrees, so kind of chilly, and it'll be in the middle 40s for tomorrow night. But daytime high temperatures tomorrow should be in the middle 70s, will be in the upper 70s for Saturday. Sunny weather for the weekend. High temperatures, lower 80s for Sunday, and Monday, Memorial Day, probably in the lower 80s as well. That warming trend continues into next week with dry weather at least through Wednesday, and by Wednesday and Thursday, high temperatures could be up around the 90-degree mark, although the humidity levels will be low, so we're not looking at excessive heat index values, and that will also keep the rain chances down, maybe Thursday and Friday of next week during the afternoon and evening. Last night, temperatures 20s and 30s up across upper Michigan and northern Wisconsin. Same thing in the northern part of lower Michigan, and there are frost advisories and freeze warnings for parts of northeastern Wisconsin, the Arrowhead of Minnesota, and much of lower Michigan for tonight. We're not going to get that cold. There could be some patchy frost in low-lying areas, say maybe north of the Dells, but nothing that should be too widespread. But take a look at the high temperature trend over the next 10 days. Average high temperature 73 tomorrow, 74, right about where we should be. A little warmer Saturday, a little warmer Sunday, a little warmer on Memorial Day Monday, and then temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees for the middle and latter parts of next week. Even behind a cold front next weekend, temperatures drop off only into the lower 80s, and we should see plenty of sunshine. Take a look at future track precipitation. This is through, well, we'll run it out into next week. You can see no rain through Monday, Tuesday, showers and thunderstorms up to the northwest, but here's Wednesday of next week, Thursday. By that time, maybe a shower or thunderstorm chance Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon, and then we get into next weekend, and the rain stays to the north. So you total that all up over the next 10 days, we're looking at about maybe a quarter to a half inch of rain. That will be highly variable. Some areas won't see any rain. Other areas could see about a half inch and a heavier shower or thunderstorm. But the more widespread rains definitely will stay up to the north across parts of northern Minnesota. And as you look at weather track, you can see how the upper level winds have actually come in from the northeast. So we have winds near the ground from the east, upper level winds from the northeast. That just brings down a big, cool Canadian air mass, and it just kind of sits here across the Midwest. That keeps the rain out to the west of us, and it's going to stay out there for the next few days. They could actually use the rain in the plains because this area is probably the area of the country that has the biggest drought conditions. But here in Wisconsin, we're looking okay. And again, that high pressure system, as long as it sits there, it will keep the rain away, and that will be the case perhaps for about the next week or so. Planning your night, look for a low of 43 in Mount Horeb, 41 Fitchburg, and 43 in Belleville with mostly clear skies across the rest of southern Wisconsin, 45 in Milwaukee, 42 in Prairie du Chien, and 36 in Camp Douglas. Again, that's an area that could see a little patchy frost. Tomorrow, 74 for a high, mostly sunny and milder, and that trend continues. Here's your first warn 7 to 10 day forecast. Sunny skies this weekend, temperatures in the 70s to lower 80s, then partly sunny skies, high temperatures getting up to near 90 for Wednesday and Thursday. Again, just a slight chance for an afternoon and evening shower or thunderstorm Thursday, maybe a little better chance Friday afternoon and evening, and then dry weather for next weekend with very comfortable temperatures.
The DNR is reminding hunters they have until May 31st to apply for a chance to get a 2023 elk hunting license. Wisconsinites can purchase their elk license applications online through GoWild.com. Applications are $10 per person. The cost of an elk hunting license for the winners of the license drawing is $49. That drawing will happen in early June. This year's elk hunting season runs from October 14th through November 12th and also December 14th through December 22nd. Successful applicants can hunt during either period.
And coming up in sports, Harvey makes history again. The award the freshman blue liner earned that put her in elite Badger company. That's next on News 3 Now. It's been a heck of a year for Caroline Harvey. She helped Wisconsin win its 7th national title and Team USA win gold at the Women's World Championship. And now, Harvey's been named the Bob Allen Player of the Year, an award that's given to the top American women's hockey player. Harvey's the 5th Badger to earn the honor, joining the likes of Jessie Vedder, Megan Duggan, Hillary Knight, and Abby Robb. On the men's side, Mike Hastings has added Nick Oliver to his coaching staff. Oliver comes to Madison after one season with the Fargo Force, where he led the franchise to its first Anderson Cup as the USHL's regular season champ. He also played and coached at St. Cloud State. After finishing runner-up at state a season ago, expectations have been sky high all year for the Cambridge boys golf team. But the Blue Jays aren't feeling any pressure on the Lynx because, as Andrew Banstra found out, they're taking it one shot at a time, thanks to Travis Galston.
Cambridge boys golf plays with the mantra.
Just kind of stay in the moment. Like, you got to stay in the moment for each shot. Don't get ahead of yourself.
One stroke at a time.
I'll get a bad break. I'll be frustrated. It's like, yeah, that's golf. That's That's what happens. You get bad breaks, you get good breaks.
Way better rotation.
Don't get thrown off by like one bad shot.
It's that lesson Travis Galston is instilling in his squad.
Golf teaches you a lot of life things. Like, there's going to be bad breaks in life. There's going to be bad breaks on the golf course.
And one he's sure his guys are getting tired of hearing.
Trying to preach that and get that through their head, like, there could be it's harder things in life than just playing a high school golf match.
But right now, the Blue Jays are swinging for a return to state.
I do really want to win a state championship, and it really means a lot, and we work really hard for it.
They want to get back. Like, they want the gold trophy, and they've put in the work to do that.
Work on the golf course that'll keep this group on par for life.
You know, just trust yourself, and good things will happen.
And stick to Galston's mindset, one stroke at a time. In Cambridge, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
And don't forget to nominate your coach to be our next Coach of the Week. Just head to the sports page and fill out the nomination form, or you can send me an email. If we don't get to you this season, we'll get to you next
Eventually
season.
you'll get there. Getting ready for that high school postseason. It's just about here. Busy time, and Memorial Day, the unofficial start to summer, and some warm weather coming on the other side of the weekend.
This is payback time. Remember the weekly storms on Thursday,
yes.
you know, and severe weather mixed in there? This is what you like to see. Not a cloud in the sky over southern Wisconsin from our Platteville and WISC TV sky cams. Just beautiful out there. 66 Madison, cooler, closer to Lake Michigan. Of course, we're not close to the lake, so very comfortable across our viewing area. 70s to the west of Dane County. Dane County right now, mid to upper 60s. 66 Edgerton, 66 in Sun Prairie. Look for temperatures to drop off to the lower 50s by late evening.
Gary, thanks. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.